Hello and welcome to Northeast Ohio Media Group's Candidate Debates. Thanks for joining us. I'm Linda Kinsey. Today we're hosting a debate for Woodmere Village Council up for election on November 3rd. I'd like to welcome Councilman Ben Holbert and challenger Alberta Fanning. The other candidates, Council members Tennyson Adams and Jennifer Mitchell Early and challenger Yolanda Brody, could not be with us today. But first, just a few rules. I will ask each of you to introduce yourselves, and you'll get 60 seconds to do that. And then we'll go into some questions, and you'll have 90 seconds to respond and another 60 seconds for any follow-up. And then at the end, we'll have a few minutes for you to ask questions of each other if you'd like to, or to bring up any issues that we might not have touched on today. Okay? So let's get started. So, Alberta, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Alberta Fanning. I've been a resident of Woodmere since 1973. I am a senior citizen advocate to my heart. I love my community, and I'm going to fight to get it back to the old country living, that we all get along with one another and share. Look out for one another. That's my goal, with love.
Okay.
Outstanding. That's wonderful. All righty. I guess it's my turn.
Councilman. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, my name is Ben Holbert, and I'm a 20-year resident of Woodmere Village. I'm very proud of the community, and I think the community is doing awesome things as we move into the future. I'm really excited about being on Woodmere Village Council because it gives me the opportunity to give back to my community once again. I've been, as I mentioned, I've been a 20-year resident of the community, but I've also been actively involved in a number of nonprofit organizations and other community organizations where leadership has been very, very important. I echo what Ms. Fanning is saying. I believe that we do need a community that is respectful and is kind to its residents as well as businesses, and that's quite frankly, that's the reason why I ran for the office 4 years ago, because we were having many challenges in that area. So since I've been on council, we've tried to bring civility and professionalism and quality of work to the office, and I think we've been rather successful in doing so.
Okay. All right, we'll move into some questions now. So the 2010 census revealed that Woodmere has about 844 residents, but it appears to have an aging population who may be looking for alternatives to single-family homes. So what can be done to bolster the village's residential population? And let's start with the councilman here.
All righty. Well, I believe that Woodmere Village is very inviting for our senior citizens. We appreciate them and we respect what they have brought to the village in time and service and being residents of the community. I believe that what we will want to try to do is basically continue on the path that we are at this point. We provide a lot of services for our senior citizens. We provide the administration provides lunch programs. There's also situations where we partner with Orange Village or Orange School System where services are provided to our seniors. And one of the things that I'm very, very proud of is for our senior citizen residents, we will provide snowplow services and other things that they may need that are done around the house to assist them because we want to make sure that we relieve any kind of challenges or issues that they may have. So there's snow removal. Matter of fact, the letter went out the other day, and if you're over 60 years of age and you live in Woodmere Village, your yard will be plowed to make sure that you're able to get in and out. And one of the other things, finally, I don't want to go over my time, but our chief of fire chief makes sure that his team checks on senior citizens if there's ever any problems with their health.
Okay. Alberta?
Yes, I agree with Holbert, but also the seniors, most of them that I have talked to, and I've been a member of the Woodmere Women Civic Club, which most of our seniors are. They rather die gracefully at home, and as long as we maintain the good fellowship, relationship with one another. On Irving Park especially, if I'm not seen in 2 days, there's somebody knocking on my door, including my little children that I have adopted, okay? Not by paper, but by words. I started a garden this past summer. I am so proud of my kids. And it was displayed at the festival, what they had grown. The mother supervised, but the children planted the vegetables and the flowers.
Okay, great. So Alberta, we'll start with you on this question. With Woodmere being such a tiny village with not a huge population, and you share a school system with Orange.
Yes.
Have you ever thought that it would be a good idea to merge, possibly with Orange or another community?
No. We are a historical little town, and we want to remain that way.
Okay.
I agree.
Ben?
I concur. The thing that I think that our audience needs to recognize is that Woodmere Village a couple of years ago, we had meetings with the other municipalities, Moreland Hills, Pepper Pike, and Orange, and we discussed it. And what we found out is that we have things in Woodmere Village that the other communities do not. We have a distinct personality. We, as Ms. Fanning just mentioned, we have friendship. We have people who look out for one another, and we want to maintain that. So we believe that we can provide the government services, the city services, and things like that to keep our small, quaint community the way it is, and hopefully make sure that all of our residents are very happy living there.
Okay. So Ben, we're going to start with you on this next question. Woodmere has had success in its business district along Chagrin Boulevard, but traffic in that area is difficult at best. What can be done? How will the new Trader Joe's impact that area? Where is all this going?
All righty. Very good question, and those are questions that we typically ask at council as well when we talk with the administration and the village engineer. But what we've been able to do is there's been ongoing conversations with ODOT to make sure that when time comes and the situation is appropriate, where we can expand the area up and down or the roadway on Chagrin Boulevard. But right now, it's just not the correct time. Now, you made reference as far as the restaurants that are going in. The council and the administration, we came to an agreement with Stark Enterprises to make sure that if any point in time where traffic becomes a significant nuisance there, that the Stark Enterprises will bring in someone to direct traffic to alleviate those issues. So that's an agreement that was set when we gave approval through council for them to move forward. So we are very sensitive to that, but we don't want to, if you will, cut off our nose to spite our face. We want the jobs to come to Woodmere, and we want the retail to be there as well. So we're trying to figure out the best way to make it both work.
Okay. Alberta?
I'm waiting to see how the new Trader Joe's and the rest of the little small stores is coming in. But I think we should be on a time frame with the traffic. So far, and I have timed it the last couple of days since I've been campaigning, the light on Brainerd turning to go west, it do not hold long enough. And the one to go across the other way, only 3 cars go there. Now, I don't know whether they are not alert to the signal changing, but it should be time. At least 4 or 5 cars can go on both directions, north, east and west, north and south, okay? And then that way, it won't seem as congested, because they look at you as though, say, especially the side street, let at least 1 car come out of the side street, or 2 cars come out of the side street, but the light has got to be timed differently. Mm-hmm. Now, how, I haven't figured that one out yet, but if I walk before the snow starts falling, I will try it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alberta, the city paid $7,500 this year for an app on cell phones developed to capture the attention of motorists who drive by the village in an effort to bring customers in for the businesses. Businesses can get into this. How has that worked? Do you have any knowledge of that, and whether you think it was worth the $7,500 and the additional $2,000 yearly to maintain it?
I'm not abreast of that yet, but since you mentioned it, I will start paying attention. I will walk up to the gas station, and then I will see for myself before I make a decision whether it's working or not.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Ben?
What we did about a year or so ago, there was a couple of gentlemen who came in, and they were talking to us about this app. The app is by Citizen Sync, and basically they use it in other parts of the state as well. But what we were trying to do is give those cars that come through our village, because there's 20,000 that come through the village on a daily basis, but we wanted to alert them about the different stores that are in our shopping plazas. We do have an ordinance in Woodmere Village where there's not predominant signage that's out in the street, so we still wanted to try to assist our businesses by driving business to them. So when you ride through the community, you can access the app. You can see if there's any kind of discounts or any kind of specials that are going on at the various stores. So what we were attempting to do, and I think we're being successful with it, is keep Woodmere Village moving with technology and keep Woodmere Village moving in a way that it gives a benefit to not only our residents, but also those visitors who come through our community.
How do you measure the success of that? How do you know that?
The app is going to have analytics where when we touch base with the firm, they'll be able to tell us how many people accessed it, accessed the app, how many people looked in a particular area, because there's a business link to it. So you'll see, and I'll call them Paladar, some of the restaurants, Fleming and whatnot, but then there's also a government link. So that way a person, a resident, if they want to find out when council is meeting, if they want to find out what's going on with the police department or any of our other departments, you can access it actually on the app. So we want to try to keep ahead of pace. We want to try to bring other things into the village that makes our community inviting or ahead of the curve. We even talked about trying to do wireless internet in our community as well.
Okay. And finally, what's the biggest challenge you think your village faces, and how do you plan to deal with it if you're elected again?
Okay. There are a couple of things that I'm concerned about, quite frankly. I mean, you mentioned it as far as our population is concerned. At the 2010 census, we had 844 people, but because of some of the retail that has gone in, obviously we lose population, but our people are very, very important to us. We want to try to take a look at some of the residential streets and see what we can do to make it a little bit more inviting. The business district obviously looks great, but we want to make sure that our residential looks great as well. And if we do that, then we'll have more people to come who want to move into Woodmere Village. And just closing, the thing that I'm excited about on one note is that it's hard to get into Woodmere Village because there's not a lot of houses up for sale, but and people stay. And so, but we're very happy with our community, and we just want to make it better.
Okay. Alberta, same question.
I don't know what we can do to increase our populations. This is off 844 residents. We only have 5 streets left, and then I'm going to go through. But we want to maintain what we have and let it be beautiful. There are some seniors that need some assistance. Ask them and help them. We are part of the Orange school system. If they really need medical care, they have doctors that they can refer to. But they want to say ale gracefully at home. And they don't want other lots sold. We only have a few left, but they 40 by 100 and something. And most of us have 196 by 2 something, lot-wise. And if the elderly, if they can just get out and walk out in their backyard and sit and don't be bothered by whomever, like they used to. And then sometimes the children come over and sit down and talk to you. So that's what we're trying to maintain, the family community, like we had years ago.
Okay. So we've set aside a few minutes for you to ask each other questions if you like, or to touch on any issues that we might not have discussed. So, do you have
we're in the same boat. We just
sort of sounds that way.
We don't have no quorums, no arguments, no anything. We are a community that's together, together, and want the best for our residents, and especially our seniors.
And I couldn't agree more. I mean, the things that Ms. Fanning is referring to is a quality of life. And we want it from cradle until someone, you know, reaches the sunset of their life. We are working on trying to make sure on council and the administration that people feel comfortable in Woodmere. They felt comfortable. Had it not been for Ms. Fanning being in Woodmere, there may have not been Ben Hobart and his family in Woodmere. So we appreciate what she's done in paving the way, and we appreciate our seniors. And we want to make sure that they feel comfortable. One of the things that Ms. Fanning mentioned, and I think is very important as well, in the development that's occurred, we have Hoosier and we have Hillcrest Hospital. We have two pharmacies, so it's within walking distance. And what we have is a beautiful blend in our community, I think, that will make sure that we take care of our seniors, make sure we take care of people in the middle, and also our youngsters.
Say our children.
Our children. And mine are growing up, growing up and growing out, so yes, ma'am, you're right.
Well, I want to thank both of you for coming in today.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us. And please check back at cleveland.com to read stories about debates, issues, and candidates for upcoming elections. Remember, Election Day is November 3rd, and early voting has already started. Thank you.
The ballot's out already.
Yes, ma'am. Early voting is starting.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's,
Thanks for coming in.
Oh,